Hi and welcome to Whisky Shared. You're watching my review of Fary Lochan Season 1. I'm Toby and you're watching Whisky Shared. Welcome to my review of Fary Lochan Season 1. Fary Lochan is a Danish whisky distillery and I paid them a visit on holiday in August 2024. This is the second review from Fary Lochan that I've covered. If you'd like to check out the previous one, I'll put a link in the description. This is a core range non-age statement release and it was designed to deliver a more consistent flavour profile over a larger number of bottles. It's one of 1,408 bottles, it's 70 cl, it's 47% ABV and it's aged in ex-bourbon and ex-Oloroso casks. It retails for 595 Danish kroner, which was about £70 when I visited. Shall we find out what it tastes like? On to the whisky. So before I start nosing and tasting, let's have a quick look at the colour. I'd say that's like a gold. Really is a nice colour indeed. Let's start with the nose. Right, so the first thing I get with this is malted barley. There's also a hint of green cereal in there as well. I'm getting window putty. I'm getting orchard fruits. I'm getting apple crumble. I'm also getting some cinnamon. I'm also getting like hobnob, oaty sweet biscuits. Getting some caramel. And I'm also getting some vanilla ice cream. Definitely reminds me of like a warming apple crumble. Let's move on to the palate. Yeah, so the first thing I get with this is like orchard fruits. Definitely is like apples, pears, really nice. I get a little bit of green apple skin as well because there's an ever so slight bitterness with it. And yeah, the pear note that I was getting with the sort of orchard fruits is like poached pears. Really is nice. Let's have another sip. Yeah, I'm getting some rye cereal, very similar to that sort of window putty note that I was getting on the nose. It's definitely not unpleasant, but there's a slight sort of savoury note after that initial sweetness. It's interesting because the sort of sweetness that I get from the orchard fruits that starts off and then that savoury note from the rye cereal is then sort of immediately sort of followed by a vanilla note. So that sort of sweetness definitely is more present than the savoury notes. Let's have one final sip. Yeah, it's interesting because there is a slight chemical note on this, and I've noticed it is still slightly present, even if you leave it in the glass for some time. But there's like an envelope glue, you know, when you lick envelopes, that sort of adhesive note that you know, that taste of that adhesive. That's what I get. It's not unpleasant, but it's yeah, I'd say it's ever so slightly unusual for a whisky. But there's also some heat and some chili pepper on the palate, so it's definitely got a good amount of heat for a 47% ABV whisky. In terms of finish, I'd say it's sort of medium long. There is that sort of chemical tang, that sort of envelope glue that sort of lingers for a little while. There's also some charred oak. There's that ever so slightly bitter green apple skin. And Also seem to get like a slight hint of rubber tyres that lingers. So unusual on a non-peated whiskey for me, that sort of rubbery note. But not unpleasant, it's just unusual. In terms of value, well, this is a 70cl bottle for just under £70 at the moment. Obviously, I would say it's probably difficult to get in the UK. So the fact that you either have to buy this when you're on holiday in Denmark, or you've got to be a Danish local to be able to easily try this at a bar or something like that, or pick up a bottle for sale. I think the fact that it's a unique prospect, but it's also great that it's a core range offering. I think most of their sort of bottlings are 50cl, so this being a 70cl for the same price as their 50cl, I'm not sure whether or not the same quality stocks go into this, but obviously it is a larger vatting of liquid to make a more consistent flavour. But yeah, it's quite pleasant. I like it. I definitely would be interested to see what happens with season 2 and 3, however far they go. I definitely would like to see the evolution of this liquid. But I think a lot of people would like this. I really like the bottle design. Obviously, you shouldn't be led by bottle design, but I really like that sort of Nordic feel on the bottle. It's definitely got a really nice design. But yeah, I think it'd be very limited for people watching this to be able to get it. But if you've got one and you're watching along and you wanted to know what other people thought of it, then hopefully you found this interesting. And if you've never heard of Fary Lochan, well, maybe I've put them on your radar and you'll keep an eye out for them. If you've tried this one, then by all means let me know in the comments. And if you tried any other Fary Lochan, also share that in the comments. I'd love to hear what you think. And if not, hopefully I'll see you again soon. Sauncher.
I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, why not give it a like or a comment, and please consider subscribing for more videos like this.